Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I will be discussing Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 11. Ooh, we about halfway done. Oh, maybe 52% done. How many episodes they got for this season? And we haven't been getting the usual 20 plus. So should we may have 5 weeks left, depending? I guess as soon as they go off. What? Atlanta come on? When Atlanta come on? I gotta check that out. But yeah, we just got one show that comes out on Tuesdays now, since last week was the final episode of season 15, Real Housewives of New York City. If you haven't checked out those reviews, please do. Ooh, it was spicy. But we ain't gonna talk about NYC. I talked about them enough. ENUFF. Yeah, please go back and watch those reviews. And also, I'm reviewing Potomac, Married to Medicine, and then a couple of other shows with my homegirl Erin. That's what's that called? Drag Race, of course, season 17. That one just dropped from this past weekend. We do it every weekend, y'all. You know how we do every week. We come out with some stuff. Also, Southern Charm. Ooh, they try. It's the pH balance of it all for me. You know what I mean? It's like mostly everybody done swapped and went through and then touched it. I'm like, I can't do it with a firm group like that. Ooh, no, child. I'm sorry. I don't understand. And these are middle-aged folks now. They not 20-something. They 30 and above. Well, this may be a couple of them that's 20-something. But I'm just saying, they range from 20 to 80, actually. But of course, the 80-year-old, that's Miss Patricia. That's somebody's mama. But I'm just saying, we got some young girls coming through, fiddling, faddling with folks. You know, that's already on this. Listen, watch the reviews, y'all, and you will get all the tea spilled from me and my homegirl Erin. But now let's talk about Beverly Hills. Ooh, child. Yeah, baby, we had a good weekend. Ooh, child, that Kendrick Lamar is something else, ain't he? Everybody talking about that. I can't turn on nothing without that song coming on. I guess he ain't like us. And Reba ain't like us either. You know, I may have a change of heart with Reba. I was a little, taken aback from last episode because, it's that typical Southern rudeness that, 9.9999 times out of 10 can be, actually racist undertones, overtones, just racist, period. But no, she seemed a little more lighthearted this episode. I really hate that, and I'm always saying, production always paints the narrative for us. They cut and paste, they, change things up so that we see what they want us to see. And of course, everyone has a good, bad, and indifferent moment in front of the camera. I wish that they would have treated this elderly woman with the better grace this last episode like they did this episode. Because not only me had, some not so nice words to say about her, other YouTubers as well. It is what it is. We could be right the first time, but as I sit here today, I can say, well, this episode, she was better. It wasn't as rough as it, but then again, it is what it is. Let's just, now production, get it right. That's all I'm just trying to say, because we don't want to get the wrong impression about folks. And then there's a whole, narrative spun and people believe what they hear. Most times people take it and run with it, Anyway, Reba and Kyle, we're going to start off right. Kyle is out there running around. First of all, it's 11 something in the afternoon, well, late morning. And we all know it's hot as fish grease and humid in Georgia. And Kyle out there running. And she took the wrong turn because apparently, what's her name? Sutton and gave her the wrong directions. Reba telling her, no, it would have been this way, and you would have did this, that, and the third. But don't you think it's kind of late now? A little humid. I used to go running at 5 in the morning. Of course, before the sun started frying your skin. And then Avi was there, he's doing his big one for Sutton, getting on Reba's nerves. Pretty much, he's trying to tell Reba, okay, now, do you want to go get dressed? She's like, get dressed? What you mean? I'm dressed. What you mean? And she's like, well, are we going to have breakfast? He's like, no, it's brunch time. We're going to have brunch. Avi's little, he's learned from Sutton, so there you go. And then Sutton learned from our mama, so there you go. But Avi, he was, kind of, trying to spit folks up. And then Kyle got the word, went upstairs, took a shower and everything, trying to get ready. And then Garcelle came in asking, could she help? He was like, no. He said he was about to get the table ready. She said, okay, good. I think that's what we should do. Then he kind of politely told her, I don't take orders from you. You're not my boss. He didn't say it like that, but you know how you can say something without saying, you say it in a different way. It's a delivery. He said, yes, Sutton has, taught me well, shaking his head like, yeah. And then Garcelle kind of got the picture, like, oh, yes. Let's wait for Sutton. Girl, Garcelle, just wait until you call. Stop trying to step in, overstep, go clip your nails, go talk to your grandchildren. I mean, I'm just saying, it's what, 12 o'clock by then? So they should be up by now. Go check on somebody. Just leave, just be waited on. You are a guest and you are not there. You are not the hell. Oh, I'm just saying, girl, just relax. Woo, child. So, Sutton goes up and was, trying to, oh no, before that, Garcelle had the, Garcelle was going to make her way to talk with Reba. At that point, Sutton was talking with Kyle about her dad and mom and, just familiarizing Kyle with growing up and, just talk a little bit about her dad and everything and how her dad was the cook and her mom didn't know how to cook and, just more sense. She was a daddy's girl. And at that point, Garcelle was talking with Reba and Garcelle just went in and was just like, sometimes, that's Sutton's confidant. She feels like you don't support her. And she was just, hoping that, you can show her that part of you because, she feels as though, she's losing out on that from you or something to that effect. And Reba kind of leaned in and said, my family is none of your business. But at the same time, are you her spokesperson? Now, if you caught that, remember how all these weeks we've been seeing that particular scene play out in the preview? That's where we kind of formed our opinion because right after that snippet that they've been showing us, it was more to it than just telling Garcelle, this is none of your business. It's family business. As she mentioned, are you Sutton's spokesperson? But she didn't say it in a mean way. But when people lean in to tell you something, that's an exclamation point. and that she is a therapist. So she picks up on things, right? She has a keen sense of intention, and she has the whole background. She's a working therapist, and she also was telling Sutton that she's getting ready to retire. And like, wow, 82. I mean, there's not like she out there, running around and, trying to, do stuff. She's sitting there talking to people and giving them advice and helping them sort out their life for whatever the reason, right? She's very hard. Like I said, she's 82. So people who were born that long ago have a different outlook on life if they haven't changed their outlook. A lot of 80-some-year-olds stuck in their ways and don't want to change, but because she's a therapist, that in a way softens her up a little bit to be more empathetic and sympathetic if she chooses to. And it seems like she does, because like I mentioned, that part of the conversation we've been seeing floating around in these Bravo streets, and which gave us an idea of who Sutton's mom was misleading. At the end of that, it was a very it was a complimentary ending to a conversation. I didn't sense that Reba was in any way, shape, or form intentionally rude or intentionally biased or intentionally dismissive of Garcelle, yet she took that in and welcomed it, knowing that this visit, Sutton had a mission to talk to her about how Sutton felt. And I felt good about it. Look, I felt good about the conversation. Because really, listen, like I said in my last 2 reviews for the show, so nobody wants to sit up here and talk about anybody's mama, because you can't talk about mine. I'm just saying. So it's really, for me, it was good to see that Reba wasn't this hard-assed, racist biddy that kind of, gave off that vibe. Now, although she, in the after show from last week, she did give away that scarf that Garcelle gave her back. She kind of regifted it to Sutton. I thought that was no trifling and shady. But, hey, like I said, she seemed like a different attitude this episode. And it was welcoming. So it is what it is. Old folks, they're going to be what they're going to be. What else happened, child? So they're talking, they're talking over breakfast. They're eating grits and something else, child. Because it has sugar in it. Kyle didn't have any. She was put on blast by Garcelle. You gonna have some grits? She was like, I'll get some later. No, you're not. Because you don't want no sugar. Girl, I'm so sick of people. Eat the doggone. It ain't gonna kill you to have but Kyle got that eating disorder situation that she spoke of. And you know how people is. People don't want to deal with nothing they don't want to deal with. Let her go. Let her cook. What else? Oh, so they're talking about visiting Sutton's old house. Coincidentally, that's the house her dad took his life in. And the mom was like, well, you really want to go over there? Are you sure? And it was like, yeah. Sutton was like, yeah, I want to show the girls. I want to see the old house. Apparently, it's around the corner from the house that they're in. The mom was like, I don't think the mama gonna go. But but yeah, we just, they're just gonna take it day by day. Then we cut over to Erika. Her house is getting renovated. That's renovated. And she calls Dorit and shows her, yeah, girl, look at all that's going on over here, girl. Look at this hallway. They didn't change up the paint and everything. They're doing just a little reconstruction, but the most part it's all cosmetic. And it's looking, like it's looking, folks in there dirty and tarp hanging and clear tarp hanging, and you know how it is when folks' houses are getting renovated. And that was pretty much it, just a little update. Then we see Bozoma and her daughter, another little cute little update, talking about Keely, babies, and child. Now you know the man won't listen. Wait till I tell y'all this. Bozoma said her and her daughter were in Ghana, and during that visit, her man just took a flight just to see her. I want to see you. He went to Ghana as if he was coming down the 405 or the 95 or the 40 or the 20 or the 10, whatever freeway you near. Because the 20 go all the way across. The 10 go all the way across. The 95, these are familiar freeways. Anywho, I'm like, what? The 80. I'm just saying, like, he just flew all the way to Ghana just to say hi. She didn't say how long he stayed or anything, but she said that was the first time her daughter met him. And it was more or less, and by accident, kind of. But shit, Bozoma said, come on, so he came. So they're talking more about, babies coming and everything. And her daughter was cool with it. She don't feel no ways tired about it. And she likes Keely. And, there's going to be some, Bozoma was checking the temperature, but all's well. It ended in great conversation, so good for her. I'm glad her daughter ain't that kind of girl, but she wouldn't be because of how Bozoma is. Bozoma seems to be very well. Oh, that word very. I gotta stop using that word very. Bozoma is well-rounded, worldly, accommodating, amicable, nurturing to her daughter. Seems to be giving her the best of the best. Oh, I wish I had a lot of money growing up. At least when I was raising my kid. I mean, we were good, but I wish I had a whole lot of money where I could have been doing so. I guess we all do, but I just really would have loved to travel like she did with her kid and just give your kid. I mean, we did it as he got older, but the little more money was starting to come in, you know what I'm saying? So I just wish when he was real little, like shoot, from birth until we started traveling, that we could have done it just earlier, just to, give him more insight into different parts of the country, the world, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that just seems so fun. And just as he got older traveling, and then he would go with other folks, other members of the family traveling here and there. And then we did our college tour. It was just so fun traveling like that with the family. Anyway, enough about me. So yeah, everything good with Bozoma now. And then we got Sutton, child. We back to Sutton in Augusta. And Sutton's emotional. They're headed to the house. Mom didn't go. Sutton, Kyle, and Garcelle, they go to the house. They're allowed to walk through. That house was impeccable. I mean, clean, a typical Southern house. Just pull up a Southern house. It was typical, very, manicured lawns. We saw the flag, the big old gigantic flag in the front, so we know the household. But they were very welcoming anyway to everyone coming. Everyone meaning Garcelle, because it's Augusta. It was, emotional, of course. It was telling. And it's one thing that was kind of awesome, the way Sutton described her dad. Of course, she was a daddy's girl. Like I said, daddy cooked. Mom couldn't cook. She tried, but child, nobody want that food. And Sutton said that she and her dad had this thing where she's walking by him, and a lot of times he was sick. She mentioned how he had depression. And of course, that led to him taking his own life. And before that, though, she mentioned how if he was sick or just, on the strength of being her dad, every time she'll walk by him, he would make it a point for them to touch. You know what I'm saying? like he just want to have that touch with his daughter. I'm getting a little emotional about it because I know what that means. Just to have that touch with your kid, just a little something because you love them so much. Of course, you just want to love on your child. And he seems to be that loving type of father. And I was like that a little bit with my dad. But as I got a teenager, I started to, break away from that. But I was still up under him a lot. But I get that with the, daddy's little girl situation. But when she described that, even my voice is cracking a little bit because I'm just so emotional. It was just so sweet. About to call her Bozoma. Sutton was talking about how every time they would pass each other in the house, or mostly he was sitting on the couch or sitting down doing something, or, she would pass by, he would reach out his hand and she would, grab his finger or just touch him or pull his toe if his shoes or whatever was off, or, just to, hey, Dad, I love you, Dad, stuff like that. But that the day he passed away, she said didn't happen. She didn't think nothing of it. Of course, they do it all the time. But as she thinks back, she realizes there was a reason why he was feeling away. And she showed them the room that, he did that in. And it was emotional, of course. She was being strong, but of course, she says she misses him every day. Of course she does. That's how we do with our loved ones. It was, it was a struggle. And they stayed in the house for I don't know how long. Her mom was, was a working therapist. So, she had to keep working and it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much they left the house, just little memory just to go by the house. She probably won't be back. She can't keep going back there, going to that house, looking looking through it. But that was, she hasn't been in the house since they moved out. And, people want closure and everything, and just to see how things were. It's funny that I did that with our childhood home many, many years ago when I was thinking about buying a house. I said, what if I bought the house that I grew up in? And I looked it up and it was for sale. And child, I walked through that house. It seemed so little. It didn't seem that little, thinking back when I was little, of course, when you're little, everything is bigger. But going back to that house and just looking at everything, how almost everything was the same. There was a slightly different construction to it, but typically the same. They didn't add on to the house, so it's the same size within, just slightly different in the kitchen and back porch. Well, some people call it service porch because it was enclosed, it was still inside the house. But what we call the back porch was where the washing machine was. You can go outside from that door. Didn't really do it. There were three exits to the home. The main door, the back door to the garage, and then the back porch door. But anyway, just going back to my childhood house, I would say if given the opportunity, I probably would buy it because, again, it's so sentimental. It was a great house and the neighborhood is still good. It's still decent. It ain't overran. It's not crime ridden. It's still a great neighborhood. So who knows? Maybe one day I will. Anywho, what else going on? Oh, Sutton. No, we're done with Sutton. Bozoma, Erika, and Dorit have lunch. Everybody's looking great. Bozoma got on her pink leopard cat suit. Pink leopard. Yeah, I said cat. I'm thinking of a cat. Yeah, anywho, Bozoma looking good, like she on a updated episode of Grease as a pink lady. So anywho, they're talking. Bozoma's letting them know that. Now, this is another doggone production trick that they did with us this last few episodes. Remember how Bozoma kept saying in those snippets that he's never said I love you, and everybody's like, "Ooh." Even I was like, "Girl, what you doing with this man here and said he loved you?" Well, she ain't said she loved him either. According to this episode, I'm like, "Girl, y'all talking about having babies, you having fibroid surgery so you can have his baby. He so y'all 7-8 months in. By now, I know, and y'all screwing like that, girl." And Erika in her confession was like, "Wait a minute, wait. No disrespect, but you talking about having a baby with this man? Ain't nobody said I love you." Like, girl, what are we doing? I'm thinking the same thing. See, me and Erika are here. I love this thing about Erika. She's just so much more of herself. She's going through these last 4 years, child. She was a bear. Anyway, me and Erika are here because it's like she was telling Dorit about what she should be doing. And as soon as we're gonna get to that in a minute. Yeah, I'm just saying, me and Erika, we were saying the same thing to Dorit. So now this episode is Bozoma's turn to talk to Dorit, because after that little tidbit, it wasn't a whole lot Bozoma was telling him, just that little bit. Dorit said she talked to PK, and she feels like she just telling him to slow things down. They're looking at her like, she's talking about Willis. They're looking at her like, "Bitch, what you talking about?" Yeah, she said it was a very pleasant conversation, and she's thinking that she should slow things down because he was, a lot more, a lot less, I should say, eager to move things along, and trying to see where her head is at after he gave her that 9 page letter. First she said it was 7 pages. Now she's saying it's 9 pages. Girl, how long was the thing? 2 pages don't matter, but I'm just saying. So she pretty much he gave her an outline of what she gonna be doing and what he ain't gonna be doing and what he expects. And then she says this conversation made her change her mind as far as what? Girl, what is we talking about? Anywho, I'm glad Bozoma was letting her know what's really going on. Pretty much, listen, girl. Listen, girl. Mm-mm. As Dorit trying to slow things down, he's steady, going around towns, searching for attorneys, trying to figure out how he can do his big one. Like Bozoma was saying, Erika was agreeing, not really saying much, because like I said, last time Erika was saying mostly everything, and Bozoma was really much agreeing. Now Bozoma letting her know about strategy, how, again, you need to do what you need to do. You need to pull the trigger. Stop waiting. Stop making it seem like it's about the kids when it's really about you. Dorit was like, it is about the kids, because no. It's about you. And that's sometimes we as parents have to separate when we have to deal with things that are adult things. Yeah, the kids is going to be all right, but you need to secure your livelihood, because you're going to be taking care of them kids. You can't live off of what the kids got. You got to, take care of you. Child. And Dorit was just like, wait, what? Dorit thought she was going to have a whole different conversation for the most part. But girl, if you don't, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Girl, if you don't, anyway, I'm glad Bozoma told her what she needed to tell her, because, child, you doing way too much, child. You doing way too much and not enough all at the same time. So pretty much Dorit thought she wasn't being played, but she was, until Bozoma stepped in and let her know. And Erika was co-signing Bozoma, just like Bozoma was co-signing Erika last episode. I know that's right. See, them three is all right with. That's a freaking friend. Now, let's just say if Bozoma wasn't on this season, Lord knows where Dorit would be. Anyway. Next, we got Kyle. She calling Kathy from upstairs because she trying to stay out the way of Sutton and her mama talking. And then she's just shooting the shit with her, talking about Portia going, with her dad this weekend and a friend, Portia's friend, is being taken to Europe by Mauricio. And then she says after he's done with the kids, he's going to meet up with PK and San Tropez. I wonder if Dorit know that. Mm-hmm. Getting her all snuggle up and everything while he out there doing his big one. I mean, do you? Because the marriage is over. Do you? But just remember, girl, I was before he get back, it'll be paperwork be ready. Speaking of 9-page paperwork, here you go, PK. And then Garcelle again tried to help, and then she ran, but Sutton was like, "Nah, just let me be." So then Kyle ran back upstairs to say, "Girl, it's about to go down. What you think?" Kyle was like, "Listen, I'm staying out of this until it's time to eat. I'm just gonna be up here, and you should too. Don't even worry about none of that going on." But they just gossiping. And then Sutton is trying to make her dad's crab cakes. Reba come in, and Reba's a little difficult, but Reba know what's about. Reba know what's going on. And then Sutton shows Reba the clothing line, and Reba kind of wasn't too thrilled. She's real melatonin. That's that is the best way to describe Reba. Real melatonin, child. Like, girl, like, what's the excitement? Girl, but then she went to explain herself a little bit, right? Pretty much talking about Reba being guarded, right? And Reba doesn't need to say she's proud of Sutton. What she call it? It's just very trite, just so unnecessary, because it's true. She, doesn't show love or show too much affection because of how she was raised. Like I said, folks was raised a certain way. It is what it is. But after a good conversation, they hugged it out. And that was pretty much the end. Avi, Kyle, and Garcelle were caught eavesdropping when they were like at the corner, like, okay, what they say, girl. And so as soon as Sutton leaves her mom to go get them, and they like, oh, she's coming. So Kyle starts to run upstairs. Avi dispersed real fast. Garcelle runs the way, but they get caught. It was just too cute. Anyway, that was the end of the episode, y'all. I hope episode 12 is about Dorit and PK, because I'm nosy. Oh, I'm nosy. I can't wait for next week, y'all. That was it. That was Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 14, episode 11. I appreciate you coming by. I really do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll check you guys later. Bye. All day.